people ask me about the status of Har HaBayit, I usually tell them the issue can be divided into two parts. One is religious and the other is political. On the issue of religion, it's up to everybody's Rav to give them instruction on whether they can go up and how they can go up. I'm not a Rav, so I obviously can't poskin on this issue. But there are people who you can ask and get an answer for. As far as the political issue is concerned, this I can address. We have an absolute obligation to reestablish Jewish sovereignty over Har HaBayit. Now, achshav, not tomorrow, not next week, not next month. Why? Because this is the heart of our people, Har HaBayit. We can't expect the Geula to come unless we set the stage for it. Everybody says, well, we're waiting for Moshiach. Well, maybe Moshiach is waiting for us. And one of the first things we should do in preparation for the Geula Shlema, to hasten the arrival of the Moshiach, is to reestablish our God-given sovereignty over Har HaBayit. And what does that mean? It means ejecting the Waqf. It means managing very carefully any non-Jewish religious statements or sermons that are given on Har HaBayit. It means reopening the Golden Gate, the Eastern Gate, and sanctifying it. Again, preparing it for the arrival of Moshiach. And more than anything else, it's basically telling the Jordanians, you lost in 1967. You lost. You desecrated Har HaZeitzim. You threw our people out of East Jerusalem, the old city. You destroyed the Churva and every other Beit Knesset in East Jerusalem. You barred us from going. You turned the Kotel into a garbage dump. You have nothing to say at all about how we reestablish our sovereignty, and we should do so immediately. As far as the rioting on the Temple Mount, on Har HaBayit, I've pointed out to many people, there are only a few entrances and exits to Har HaBayit. We don't have to shoot anybody. We just have to arrest those who demonstrate against our sovereignty, against our people, against our faith, eject them from the land, and make sure their families follow them into whatever hell we can direct them to. We're back. We've never actually left in our hearts and our minds Har HaBayit. Now we have to realize our heart's desire that we felt over 2,000 years.
So let me ask you a very individual question. When you were at the jail for 30 years, have you ever thought about the Har HaBayit Temple Mount? Have you ever prayed from this place to God to save you and, release you from the hell of the...
Every day I prayed 3 times a day. For 30 years I prayed that Hashem would release me from my bondage so that I could go home and be with my wife and my family. And He did. He released me.
Do you know how many people prayed for you in Har HaBayit?
My wife, Esther Alea Shalom, used to tell people who would apologize to her for not having done enough that Hashem had a kos shel tefilot in Shemaim for me. And she would tell people that when that kos was filled, I would come home. And the prayers that were said for me on Har HaBayit, in the Maharat HaMachpelah, in Kever Yosef, wherever they prayed, wherever people prayed, at the Kivrei Tzadikim, those were the things that brought me home. Certainly the government didn't do it, but it was the prayers of people, especially those on Har HaBayit, that brought me home. I have never forgotten that at all for a moment.
So if you're asking me, you should go up there and thank God that helped you.
I would like to, but I have to figure out how to.
I know, to find the exact moment.
The exact moment, because my Rav, as I said, poskin that I shouldn't. Perhaps, when we reestablish sovereignty over Har HaBayit and we banish the evil that's currently occupying it, I can seek help with a bet din over what I should do at that point. But my heart longs to go up to Har HaBayit.
I can tell. Okay, thank you very much.
My pleasure.